Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be previewing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 6 matchup versus the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football. But before we talk about that, I do have a quick bit of injury news regarding Buccaneers tight end Rob Gronkowski. It has been reported that Gronkowski will be missing week number 6 versus the Eagles, as he is still dealing with his rib injury. Now, the silver lining here is that it is pretty much unanimously expected that Gronkowski will be ready to go in the Buccaneers Week 7 matchup. However, he is going to be ruled out for this Week 6 matchup. So there's your injury update there. If you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe, hit the like button if you do enjoy these types of videos, and leave your thoughts about this upcoming Bucs game and your score predictions down in the comment section below. I would very much love to hear it. But as always with all of these preview videos, I have a lot of thoughts regarding this game and these storylines. The aspects that we all need to be paying attention to going in this upcoming game have been swirling around in my head, in my thoughts, if you will. And the first thing that came to my mind was this. It is a short week. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers just played Sunday. Now, it was a 1 p.m. game, thankfully, versus the Miami Dolphins. Could you imagine if it would have been a primetime Sunday night football game? Would have been even worse. But again, the Buccaneers just played on Sunday, and now they have a very quick turnaround before playing again in Week 6 on Thursday night football, like I said. And to be honest, there have been some situations where primetime games have been a issue for the Bucs in the past, especially Thursday night football games. Case in point, I believe the Chicago Bears game from last year was a Thursday night football game. Tom Brady even said, I believe it was either today or yesterday to the media, that playing Thursday night games is pretty tough because it's like cramming for a test, right? You have to compact so much information in such a quick amount of time that it makes everybody's job so stinking difficult. And this is unfortunately the set of circumstances the Buccaneers find themselves in, but also the Eagles find themselves in that set of circumstances as well. So it's a little bit of an even playing ground there, if you will. Another negative, I guess you could say, about having a short week is that the Buccaneers are still dealing with even more injuries to this team right now. Tom Brady is dealing with a thumb injury. We made a video talking about that. Lavonte David is out for Week 6 and possibly beyond as he deals with a low ankle sprain. I said high ankle sprain in my previous video that I made talking about that topic. It was actually a low ankle sprain. My apologies for the confusion with that. But Buccaneers star linebacker, he is out for this game. Rob Gronkowski, he was ruled out again. And even Antoine Winfield Jr., who is in the concussion protocol, even now, he is questionable to be able to come back for the game versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Bruce Arians said that he would know more on Wednesday. Fingers are crossed that Antoine Winfield Jr. can play in that game, but it sucks that Tom Brady's dealing with his thumb injury. It sucks Lavonte David's dealing with his ankle injury, and it sucks that Rob Gronkowski is still dealing with his rib injury. That is also another problem with having a short week, is guys who are coming away with maybe some small nagging injuries or even bigger nagging injuries from the Bucs Week 5 win versus the Dolphins don't have a ton of time to recover from those injuries. Again, the same thing can be said for the Eagles, but yeah, the Bucs just seem to be dealing with a lot of injuries. It's not a great thing to have right now. It's not a great situation to be in. But let's go ahead and take a look at the opposing team the Buccaneers are playing now, the Philadelphia Eagles. While the Eagles are still trying to answer, a decent amount of questions surrounding their team with the quarterback position, we'll talk about that in a minute. The running back room seems to be pretty set with Miles Sanders and Kenneth Gainwell. The wide receiver core is still a little bit in flux right now. On the defensive side of the football, you have some aging guys on all three levels of the defense. The secondary is a bit of a question mark, despite some of those questions they may have surrounding the team. One thing can still be said for sure, and Tom Brady himself said this, that the Eagles still have arguably one of the best defensive lines in football. And yes, this will be a true test for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line to protect Tom Brady, who again, by the way, is still dealing with a thumb injury. So you've got to protect that man at all costs, even more so than you are usually inclined to do. So the Buccaneers offensive line is going to have a pretty tough test with the Philadelphia Eagles D-line. It's not, like the first really good defensive line they have faced this year. They played the LA Rams and Aaron Donald. That's usually a pretty good test, but this is another one along the same vein. So will the Buccaneers offensive line hold up protecting a little bit of a thumb-injured Tom Brady? We'll have to wait and see regarding that. Couple of positives, however, regarding the Bucs is that the offense seems to have finally found some balance over the past 2 weeks, with Leonard Fournette finally taking command of the running back room. Will that continue in this game? I feel like the coaching staff, I've talked about this the entire year, I feel like the coaching staff has been wanting Leonard Fournette to be that guy for this team ever since his playoff run last year. He just wasn't really giving them a ton of excuses to get him in the game a lot, but now he's had a couple of really good weeks. He's been earning those opportunities, not just as a runner, but even a little bit as a receiving back as well. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still on hashtag #PlayGeoMore team, but regardless, Leonard Fournette, he's been impressing the past 2 weeks, and I do hope this continues with the Buccaneers having a balanced offensive attack. I feel like it takes some pressure off of Tom Brady. I feel like it definitely puts the flow of the game more in favor to what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers want to do, and they can kind of control more of what's going on in the game, again, in my opinion. So let's hope the Buccaneers keep up that balanced attack on offense. I would definitely love to see that. Leonard Fournette's been doing a really, really good job, and some sprinklings of Giovani Bernard and like a little dash of Ronald Jones. To the defensive side of the football, the Buccaneers have also seemingly been getting some more momentum in their favor. The pass rush overall has had a good couple of weeks. Shaq Barrett had a sack and a half last week. Vita Vea had a half sack. And even before then, they were getting the ball rolling in terms of getting pressure and finally finishing on some of those plays when sacking the quarterback. And then Jamel Dean just got his first interception of the season in week number 5. There are some encouraging signs there for the defense. Richard Sherman's continuing to learn the defense. You have guys like Pierre Desir and Ross Cockrell, who are kind of filling in the gaps as good, solid depth guys who can give you starting snaps. Jamel Dean returned from injury. That's good news. Hopefully Carlton Davis and Sean Murphy-Bunting can return somewhere down the line as well. It seems like things are growing and momentum is increasing for the Bucs defense. Will it continue? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Fingers crossed that they can continue it. And they're going to be going up against what is a very intriguing offense, led by, in my opinion, a young and interesting quarterback in Jalen Hurts. I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, I love Jalen Hurts. I think that he is he's got that mentality, right? He's got that it factor, I think, in terms of wanting it. Okay, I just think he's got that type of mentality where he's going to go out there and he's going to do every single thing that he can do to win a football game. And, there was a time when I wanted him on the Bucs not too long ago. I thought it would have been a good draft pick, a good solid developmental guy underneath Tom Brady. I still would have thought that, but he ended up on the Eagles. And overall, I think he does have a legitimate chance to be that franchise quarterback. He is a mobile guy. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have shown in the past that they can't always handle a mobile quarterback. So, will that be the same thing here now? Will that change? Who knows? There's been that stigma of, oh man, the Bucs can't handle mobile quarterbacks, and the Bucs can't handle young first and second year quarterbacks. Well, now they're facing a guy who does both of those things combined in Jalen Hurts, who again, I'm a big fan of. I think he can develop into a very solid quarterback in this league. And I'm just going to be intrigued to see that matchup of Jalen Hurts, young, interesting quarterback, versus the Buccaneers defense. Should be a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, guys, as I said, this Eagles team has got a lot of questions, right? Yes, they have some guys along the defensive line, on their defensive side of the football, rather, and that is still one of the better defensive lines in the league, in my opinion, and in Tom Brady's opinion as well, by the way. But they've got a good amount of questions. I mean, the Buccaneers offense versus this Eagles secondary could be a matchup that the Bucs very well exploit throughout the entirety of the game, and they should. I think they definitely should. This Eagles team feels like they're a little bit in limbo right now. They have Jalen Hurts, they have a couple of other pieces, but much like kind of in the case of like the Eagles, I feel like they don't know whether or not they want to go full rebuild or they're just saying they're reloading. They're kind of stuck somewhere in the middle there, and that kind of leads for middling results for a team throughout a season. Again, just in my opinion. You guys can disagree with me or correct me if I'm wrong down in the comment section below if you want. But at the end of the day, I feel like this Eagles team won't be able to keep up with the Buccaneers offensively. I feel like the Buccaneers defense is getting on a little bit of a roll, and I do think this is a game the Bucs will win with a final score of 31-21 in favor of the Bucs. So I do have them winning this game by 10 points. I do have them getting over 30 points. I'll give the Eagles 21 points because, again, I like what Jalen Hurts does. I think he will be able to make some plays with his mobility and really do some intriguing stuff there on offense there for that team. But at the end of the day, I do think the Bucs will win by 10 points, 31-21, and those are kind of all my thoughts on that entire game. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts about this entire situation down in the comment section below. I would love to hear it. And what do you think about Rob Gronkowski being ruled out again and probably expected to play in week number 7? Again, give me your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.